Are the New York Knicks keeping their eyes on the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo? We're going to break it down in today's show. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Brian Windhorst of ESPN a couple of weeks ago brought this up, but, the Knicks, they were in a playoff run, and I didn't want to talk about rumors, so we're going to talk about them now. Windhorst said the Knicks have some attention focused on Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. He made it seem like the Knicks are keeping their eyes close on that situation and that maybe it might get a little bit smoky out in Milwaukee and maybe Giannis could force his way out. We'll talk about that. But first, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because if the Knicks make a move, we are going to make a video here on the channel. We're putting out videos every single day all summer long. We're going to be live for NBA free agency. We're going to be live for the NBA draft, even though the Knicks don't have a pick. We're going to be your one-stop shop all off-season long. Go down right now, hit that sub button. So this is what Brian Windhorst had to say about Giannis Antetokounmpo on ESPN First Take a couple of weeks ago. He said, is Giannis going to sign an extension with the Bucks? I don't know. And that uncertainty is what the league is watching right now. The New York Knicks, for example, they got 97% of their attention on the Miami Heat and 3% of their attention on Milwaukee. What is going on over there? Then Stephen A. Smith replied as they were on First Take and said, if it ain't LA, it's New York. I don't rule out the possibility of Giannis wanting to come to New York at all. And here we go. Welcome to the NBA offseason, where ESPN, Bleacher Report, FS1, and everybody that puts out NBA content links every single superstar to the New York Knicks, which I'm getting kind of tired of because everyone always likes to laugh at New York Knicks fans for saying, oh, you guys thought you were going to get Donovan Mitchell. You thought you were getting Kyrie. You thought you were getting KD. You thought you were getting this guy. But we're just going off the reports that come from ESPN and all of the big dogs out there. So let's not act like the Knicks just come up with these ideas. They come from the source and from all of the media outlets out there. So let's just put that to bed. I do want to say this, though. Brian Windhorst, while I think a little bit of his reporting is sometimes questionable, he was absolutely on fire last summer. He called the Rudy Gobert trade months before it happened. He called the Donovan Mitchell trade months before it happened. And I believe that he is plugged into the NBA, and I don't think he would say something like this if he didn't have any sort of substance to back it up. I do believe that it's getting a little bit rocky in Milwaukee. I don't know if a trade, though, for Giannis is around the corner. But it is an absolute huge summer for the Milwaukee Bucks, no doubt about it. Think about it like this. We'll start at the bottom. You just lost to the 8th seed in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs in 5 games. Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat in the 8th seed just gentlemen swept the Milwaukee Bucks. And the only game the Bucks won was actually without Giannis on the floor. So save the Giannis injury stuff for that one. You got a new head coach. You just fired Budenholzer. So you're going to have to get a new head coach. Big summer. You also have the Giannis extension. Giannis Antetokounmpo is extension eligible right now. The Bucks are going to offer him an extension. They want to keep him here. They want to keep him in town in Milwaukee. If Giannis says no and he doesn't sign a new extension before the 2023 NBA season starts, boy, oh boy, buckle up. Also, 2 of Giannis's best teammates on this team, Chris Middleton, has a player option for the 2023 season. All signs point to the fact that he is going to decline that player option and become an unrestricted free agent. And also, Brook Lopez is a free agent. So if Giannis talks with Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez and they say, yo, bro, I'm going to go with whoever gives me the most money, and maybe that's not Milwaukee, maybe then these rumors will start to really, really heat up. I'll ask you, though, this question. Should the Knicks go all in for Giannis? I'm talking about pushing all the chips to the middle of the table to make a trade for Giannis. Should they do it? Type Y for yes, type N for no. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So once you get hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down. Let me know. Should the Knicks go all in for Giannis? Yes, you go all in for Giannis Antetokounmpo. You do everything you can to get Giannis in the orange and blue. But Brunson is the guy that you keep out of this trade, of course. You want to pair Brunson with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Everybody but Brunson is on the table when the Milwaukee Bucks and Leon Rose get on a call. You say, you pick the players, you take the picks, you get whatever you want, and we will make it happen. And let's be honest, we got to get Brunson a sidekick this offseason. And Giannis would be the best Robin in the NBA. Brunson is your Batman, and Giannis would be the best number 2 the NBA has seen since Scottie Pippen. Brunson running the show, Giannis being the little sidekick. Maybe joking a little bit right there, but could you imagine this duo right here? Could you imagine this? Giannis is the best player on the floor for the first 36 minutes, the first 3 quarters, and then Captain Clutch, number 11, walks in and says, Giannis, go play defense and get the rebounds while I close this game out. Giannis would be the best number 2 in the NBA, potentially ever. And the stats, they back that up. When you talk about what Giannis has done the past 4 seasons, it's just incredible. This guy is going to go down as one of the best stat sheet stuffers of all time. He gave you 31 points per night, 12 rebounds, 5.7 assists, and was one of the most efficient players in the NBA. He's really been giving you that the last 4 seasons. He did have an injury, though, this year, caused him to miss some time, and it really kind of resulted and followed him going into the postseason, where he was actually not all that good for the first time in his NBA career. Only played in 3 games against the Miami Heat, averaged just 23 points per game, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 52% from the deck, which if anybody in the league put up those numbers, you'd be like, that guy is unstoppable. But when you compare it to what he's done in the NBA playoffs before, like scoring, 50 points in a Game 7 in the NBA Finals, 31.7 points per game in 2021, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. What he did in 2021, 2022 when they lost in the Eastern Conference semifinals to the Boston Celtics is incredible. 32 and 14, and then in the NBA Finals run, he put up 30 and 13 and 5. He is special. You got to ask yourself, though, what is Milwaukee going to want in a Giannis trade? They're going to want it all. Of course they are. If you are trading Giannis, which, one, I don't know how likely it is. We're just going off the report from Brian Windhorst. They're going to want everything the New York Knicks have to offer. And we'll show you what that could be just in a second. But for this to go down, for this to actually be a shot in hell, for this to actually be realistic, Giannis would need to demand a trade, and then Giannis would need to say, I only want to go play for the New York Knicks. And he has that type of power. A guy like Giannis that delivered a championship to the city of Milwaukee and the Milwaukee Bucks, if he approached ownership and said, I'm not going to sign that extension, I'm sorry, my time has just run out, we're getting older, we have another new coach, the 3rd one for me in the past 5 years, I want to go play somewhere else, and I want to go wear the orange and blue. I want to be the best Knick of all time, and that's the only place I want to go. Then that would get the ball rolling. That's what Donovan Mitchell did not do last year. The Knicks, they would need Giannis to do that. And if that did happen, the Knicks have a lot of draft picks to make it happen. Obviously, you don't have a first-round pick or a second-round pick in the 2023 NBA draft, but you got 4 first-round picks potentially in 2024. You have 2 first-round picks in 2025. You have 8 tradable first-round picks right now, and you have 10 first-rounders in the next 7 seasons. If the Knicks decide that we want to go all in for whether it be Giannis, Embiid, someone else, they have the draft capital to do it. In 2024, they have those 4 first-round picks. They obviously have their own first-round pick, but they also have the Mavs pick, which is top 10 protected. The Pistons pick remains top 18 protected, while the Wizards pick, which was top 14 protected last year, is now top 12 protected. So you got protected picks and you got unprotected picks. But what would a trade look like? It ain't cheap, I'll tell you that much. What about this idea? This is something me and Seeps kind of cooked up in the office before we went live on the channel. One, I don't even know if this is enough, to be honest with you, but what do you think? Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickley, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and 3 protected first-round picks. So you're trading 7 first-rounders Robinson, Barrett, Quentin Grimes, and Quickly. Would you make this trade? I can't even help but giggle at this. Would you make this trade? Type A for accept. Type D for decline. I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. Let me know. Would you pull the trigger? A for accept, D for decline. If you have type D in the comment section, or if you think you should decline this deal, pass the gas, because, man, it's got to be some pressure because you are absolutely tripping. You do whatever it takes to go and land Giannis Antetokounmpo. Pass the gas. You do it. I love Mitchell Robinson. I love R.J. Barrett. I love Quentin Grimes. I love Emmanuel Quickly. And I'm sure I'm going to love who the Knicks could potentially pick with those guys. But none of them will ever come close to being the player that Giannis is. All you have to do is get Jalen Brunson and Giannis, and then you go from there. Notice, Julius Randle's not in this deal, but I don't think you can actually play Julius Randle and Giannis together. I believe another trade would follow this, where you would trade Randle and try to recruit maybe a pick or two and get one or two players that kind of depthen out and lengthen this rotation. It's a lot, no doubt about it, but it costs to be the boss. Scared money don't make money. If you're telling me that Mitchell Robinson and R.J. Barrett, and as much as I love Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickly, are the holdup on this deal, you got a problem. Also, if you want Obi Toppin, throw him in. Whatever they want, get it done. Get Giannis to the city and let's freaking ride. One thing I can't say about this, though, is there's only a couple of teams out there right now that have more draft capital than the New York Knicks, but most of those teams are bad teams. I truly believe that there's not really another team, maybe the Oklahoma City Thunder. That may be the only team out there that can outbid the New York Knicks. And that doesn't just come to a Giannis trade. If Giannis becomes available, if Joel Embiid becomes available, or another superstar becomes available, the Knicks have positioned themselves in a perfect spot to pull the trigger and go all in on an NBA star and make a blockbuster trade happen and finally get Jalen Brunson that Robin. Giannis, you'd be a hell of a Robin, my man, right next to Jalen Brunson. I can't even say it with a straight face. He would absolutely be our best player. We appreciate everybody, as always, for tuning in to Knicks Now. If you missed anything or you want to chop it up about the Knicks, hit me up over on Twitter @MarshallGreen_.